Okay, everybody, I'd like to try to explain why it is hard to cook a steak. So now in class, we spent some amount of time explaining that when you cook a steak, the center of the steak, that is right here, has to have a temperature which is, depending on how you like your steak, be around 60 degrees Celsius or so. On the other hand, in order to initiate browning reactions, you need the outside of the steak to have a temperature which is around 120 degrees Celsius. And so to do that, of course, you need the oven temperature, that is the temperature of the oven, to be higher than that. So for example, you might want your oven to have a temperature of, I don't know, say 180 degrees Celsius, which is higher than both of these. So you put the piece of steak in the oven, you let it go, and you try to achieve these two temperatures, and you immediately arrive at a problem, which is that the steak is filled with water, namely all of those blue dots that you see there. And water has the feature that it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So initially, the hottest you can get the steak up to is 100 degrees, which is the temperature at which water boils, and you can't get it any hotter than that. In order to get the steak cooked. So what you have to do is you have to wait until the water actually evaporates. So near the edge of the steak, what happens is that the water evaporates and the steak becomes brown, and that's where the browning reactions occur. So the steak sort of looks like this. There's a brown layer where the temperature is actually bigger than 100 degrees. It actually goes up in this layer to the temperature of the oven. And then in the middle, you hope to get it down to 60 degrees, which is the temperature that you want to get it to. Now, if you were to make a plot of this, so here's a plot, and what we're plotting here in this plot is the temperature in the steak as a function of distance, x, where this point here, that is the origin, is at the center of the steak, so this is at 60 degrees, then basically what it's going to look like is the following thing. The temperature is going to go up in the middle until it gets to the edge, so that right here is the edge of the steak. That's and that's going to be 100 degrees, the boiling point of water, and then there's going to be this really thin layer where the temperature goes up to the temperature of the oven, which is, whatever we said, 180 degrees. And that's what the temperature profile looks like in a steak, and that is the challenge that you have to get. Now, the one thing you should notice about this plot is that if your goal was to get the temperature of the steak at 60 degrees, which is the temperature where you've cooked things perfectly, then you should notice that actually most of the steak is cooked at a higher temperature. So this whole region, only right here, is at 60 degrees. This part is all overcooked, and then this part is brown. And that is really why it's so hard to pull this off.